All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me just fine? Okay, excellent, excellent. Let me just start my screen here as well. Okay, all right, my screen should be visible too. Okay, great, great, great. All right, guys, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone. My name is Navin Prithyani from urbanforex.com. I'm the senior trader and mentor there, also CEO of Black Tower Investments in Hong Kong and CEO of Anticipate Don't Participate DMCC in Dubai. Um, we have a very special webinar here today, talking about the key mistakes some of the traders make to get started in trading. Okay, how many of you guys would say that is a common problem? Like some people have been in the industry for so long, yet some of the basic stuff is all missing from the knowledge. There's so much background knowledge in how do I draw trends? How do I use support and resistance? What is supply and demand? What is a Fibonacci? There's so much knowledge, but yet no focal point of like, what am I supposed to actually do? What am I trying to do when it comes to trading? So that's a very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about that today. Um, how many of you guys here in the room already know me? Okay. How many of you guys in this room already know me? I've been with FX Street for a very, very long time as well. I'm actually a premium speaker here at FX Street for I don't know how many years now, probably 3, 4, 5 plus maybe. Um, and for those of you guys who already know me, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm here at least once or twice a month, and then I'm on YouTube every couple of weeks as well. So. Um, all right, just one quick thing, guys. I'd like to make these webinars interactive, so as much as you can, please use the chat box to participate, not the Q&A area. If you use the Q&A area, not everyone will see your messages. So Bando, I believe you're typing in the Q&A area. If you can type it into the chat area, then it'll be very much easier to see. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get started. Let's get started. So a couple of things I want to start you guys off with. Is sort of trying to get an understanding of, first of all, what are we doing? What are we doing when it comes to trading? Okay, without that core knowledge, okay, it's like this. All right, let me see if I can get a marker here. Okay, let's say the objective is to drive a car, okay? I want to make this very simple to show you what kind of nonsense is actually happening when it comes to learning how to trade. So let's say the objective is to drive a car, right? Okay, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to drive that car. Okay. All right. If the objective is to drive a car, so suddenly we learn about tires. We learn about oil change. Okay. We learn about servicing. We learn about the DMV or the place where you get your license. You learn about insurance. You're learning about so much material. Where is the driving part? I think we have lost track of what are we in this industry to do. Okay? We're so focused on, okay, so what does oil change mean? Let me understand oil change, oil change, oil change. Okay, got it. What does a license mean? Let me understand license, license, license. Okay. What does insurance mean? Let me understand insurance, insurance. But we're moving further and further away from understanding how do we drive. Okay, how many of you guys felt like we're over the years or over the months, as long as you've been in this industry, you seem to be getting a little bit of sidetrack where it's like, I get lost or I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore. Everything is just all over the place. Hi, Sunil. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, some of you guys have that feeling? All right, so let's talk about it from a different perspective. Forex. I'm going to start with something super basic to ask you, what do you understand about Forex? Okay. Did you know Forex is not like stocks? It is not like futures. So let's dig deeper into that. Because what I'm about to show you today is not a technique, is not a strategy, is not a trading system. However, what I tell you today, over the next 40, 45 minutes that we are here together, suddenly any technique you use, any trading system you use, any strategy that you use, you will know when to use it and when not to use it. Because that is the golden key to trading. Knowing when to not trade. So far, so good? Now, when you're dealing with a stock, okay? When you're dealing with a stock, such as, let's say, Apple or Tesla or any name you can think of, any popular name, right? When you buy a stock, can you expect the stock to go like this? Hi, Kate PH. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the room. Hi, Ali. Also, welcome. Can you expect the stock to go like that? Let's say this is Apple or Tesla. Doesn't matter. You can expect a stock to rise one direction and stay in that one direction, right? Okay, a stock can do that because a stock does not have a counter position. It does not have a counter position. It is simply a representation of the stock itself. In Forex, on the other hand, you have a counter position. So for example, Euro USD. If you see a setup and you're inside Euro USD and you want to do a buy that goes from here to here, you have to understand the further you make this thing want to move, the more damage you're doing to the counter pair. So you just have to take a moment and think, will the US economy just be like, oh, it's okay. Currently, Euro wants to buy because there's a nice support and resistance. And because there's support and resistance, we should wait for the economy. Let the support and resistance or let Fibonacci keep doing his thing, and then we will fix the economy. Does that ever happen? Is someone in the economy of the US saying, you know what? There's a nice supply and demand area here. We'll fix the economy after the supply and demand traders, they make their money. They don't do that. They don't do that. So you have to understand one thing. In Forex, prices cannot go in one directional market for a sustained period of time. It has to go up and down, up and down, up and down. You see, key differences. Knowing what market you're trading changes the way you trade. Changes the way you trade. So having said that, if you ever look at a currency pair, so let me do, for example, New Zealand USD. Okay, let me bring this up to, let's say, a daily chart. Fix this up here. Daily chart. Let me turn this into a weekly. Where is it? Weekly. Now, if you take a look at the weekly chart, wouldn't you say from 2020, the year 2020 until now, the chart has gone up? So it's like, wait a minute, Navin, you were just saying the trade cannot go in one direction. Now, here's the thing, though. If you're trading it on a daily basis, okay, enough. Let me make this into a 1 hour. Let me squeeze this up a lot for you here. Tell me how the market has gone up in this view. Did he go up in a straight line? Or did he go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down to get up there? You have to understand Forex cannot travel smoothly. So what happens is when we enter this industry for the very first time, we are attracted by, hey, this guy made 100 pips. I wish I can make 100 pips. Oh, tomorrow he made another 50 pips. I wish I can make another 50 pips like that. And then we all get attracted going down that rabbit hole of, this is not good. This is what we live for. So we keep putting all of our focus into big, large movements of 100, 200 pips when that is actually not possible. That is not possible. That is the wrong thing to aim for because that thing comes once in a blue moon. So how do you make a career trading something that's once in a blue moon? You can't. It's like saying, I go to the lottery to buy a lottery ticket every single day, but one day I will win. You know, that's not a career. You can't build a career like that, right? How many of you guys agree so far? Does that make sense so far? So first thing we need to do is understand, what are we dealing with? What kind of market are we dealing with before going to strategy, system, techniques, moving averages, this, that, all of that stuff? What's the point? What's the point? Okay, that's what we're here for today, right? The key mistakes people do when dealing with the markets. So far, so good? Everyone with me so far? Does that make sense? Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about the FX market, and now you have sort of an understanding of, okay, so I get that actually. It's starting to make sense because whenever the markets move, it's very tough for me to say they're going to move even more. So now let's talk about human psychology just a little bit. And I want you to tie the human psychology to the Forex market. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Prices are going down. They pull back, they go down. Okay? Nice lower high, lower lows. Prices are going down. Everyone can label this however they want with whatever education they have. Oh, you see that lower low? That means it's a downtrend. Oh, this angle is 90 degrees down. It must be a downtrend. Whatever logic they come up with, everyone has their own way of looking at things. They will all say down. No one says up. They 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 all say down. No one says up. Now everyone sees it as an up and they're like, oh, actually, I want to buy now. Human psychology starts to begin to buy in these areas. Remember what we just talked about Forex. How the Forex market cannot sustain staying in one direction too long. That becomes a problem. That becomes a problem. While everyone is now focused on buying when it's all visible, because now the news is talking about it, the neighbor's talking about it, the grandma's talking about it, the dog is talking about it, everyone's talking about the buy, and we feel, oh, we missed the buy, so let us buy right now. You saw what Euro USD did? He went up 300 pips. I want to buy for 300 pips. Let's enter the market now. At this stage, all MAs point up. All MACDs point up. All RSIs point up. And the only thing holding you back is someone telling you, oh, you bought it wrong. You have to filter. You have to filter. But is that the right answer? Just filtering after filtering, one indicator on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, because we're filtering. That'll just drive a person nuts. Okay, it's basically saying you're looking to do an oil change, like we discussed earlier in the webinar. Here's a better way to do an oil change. Here's a better way to do an oil change. Here's a better way to do an oil change. I'm not looking to do an oil change. I need to drive that car. We keep losing perspective of what are we here to do. We're here to trade. We're here to turn a profit. We're here to buy low, sell high. Not buy high, sell higher. That is not possible in Forex, but it can be possible in stocks. So if we understand what type of market we're dealing with, can we reorganize the way we think? Can we reorganize the way we're using our current strategy, whatever it might be that you've learned from any mentor, guru, library, YouTube video, whatever it may be? Can we organize it a little bit better by understanding, wait a minute, I'm not interested in the strategy itself. I'm interested in applying the strategy to a specific asset class that you now understand how it performs. That will change your performance 10 times. Okay, you'll have a 10x boost in your performance. Just understanding, what am I dealing with? Okay? How many of you in this room can say, when you started your journey, The only focus at the tip of your tongue is, yeah, but show me how to enter. Yeah, but show me how to enter. What do you think about Euro USD right now? Show me how to enter. What should I do right now? It's just, how do I make money? How do I make money? How do I make money? Rather than trying to understand, what are we trying to do here? What's the goal? What's the goal? Right? So this is how everyone enters this industry. This is how everyone enters this industry, and they go straight into the stuff that has less relevance than starting from the idea of, first of all, what market are we dealing with? How does it operate? Why does it go up? Why does it go down? What does it mean? And then doing a strategy. You know when the thing is going to go up and it's going to turn around for a down, can we position ourselves here? Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Okay, so you're trying to put all the pieces together based on how the market performs. Based on how the market performs. So let's move it a step further. Let's move it a step further. So let me tell you something here. Markets are going sideways. Suddenly they go up. They go up and then they go down a bit. How many people will look at this and say, hey, that is a probe. Okay, how many people in here have knowledge of the word probe or a fake out? Okay, probe or fake outs, right? Everybody has some kind of knowledge about that, right? A range breakout, but it's fake. Sort of something like that. Now, with that fake out, everyone says, oh, it's not a buy, it's in fact a sell. Now, let me ask you a next piece of education. So this is education part, right? Education, learning patterns. Let me talk about another piece of education. There's two types of markets, right? There is a trending market, higher high, higher low sequence. What is a channel? Do you guys understand channels? You have higher high, but just slightly. And then a higher low, it comes in very, very deep. Then it goes up a little bit higher and it comes in very, very deep. Goes in a little bit higher, comes in very, very deep. You guys have seen that before? Channels? Can you guarantee me this, that this is not going to be a channel and then just rise up from there? So a fake out versus a channel, now we're at war between one person who says, I studied, versus another person who says, I also studied. Okay? So what's going to happen? Sometimes he will be right, sometimes he will be right. And all they're doing is exchanging money. I made some profit, here you go. This time I made some profit, here you go. And in between, broker says, hey man, thanks for the spread, 1 pip. Hey man, thanks for the spread, 1 pip. Hey man, thanks for the spread, 1 pip. But all that's happening is this exchange of I know more than you, no, I know more than you, constantly, without trying to understand what is actually happening. So far so good? Do I have your attention now? Right? So everyone understands a fake out, everyone understands a channel, but a little thing like this, people have no idea what is happening. Okay, let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further. If prices are going sideways and they start to rise, they pull back, they start to rise, they pull back. Okay, so let me actually do it like this. They do this. People do not buy thinking, what if it's a probe? I'm not sure. What if it's going to come down deeper? I'm not sure. Prices go higher. Ah, I guess it is a buy. They begin to buy. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you the next types of people. So there's one type that chases. So one person says, I'm going to buy this. And they chase it. They buy the highest price possible because they only now got their confirmation that, okay, it is a buy. That's person A. Says, I got it, I got it, I got it. It's going up. The perception is it will keep going up forever. And I'm going to become rich now. That's the perception. There's a person B who says, you idiot, I am smarter than you. I'm going to wait for a better price. Person B says, I will wait for a 50% pullback. Mr. Fibonacci has taught me that I need a pullback to come in a little bit deeper. Person C says, you know what? I need a channel pullback. I need the prices to come into here, and I'm going to do a buy because I am smarter than you, you monkey. All right, so all of this stuff is going on. Prices start to rise up a bit. News starts covering it, saying, today, Euro USD has gone up 14 ticks, highest in history. Now the public starts also buying it. Now what? Now what? The Forex market cannot sustain going in one direction too aggressively at any given point. But can I ask all of you guys one thing? Was he wrong? Was he wrong, or was he wrong? They were all correct. But they all don't know where to do what they normally do. They were all correct. All of these educations that they have learned comes from the right knowledge, but they don't know where to apply that knowledge. That's the fundamental flaw in most techniques, strategies, and trading system. That is the underlying flaw throughout the internet. It's because a blind is helping the blind. No one has actually any trading experience. They're just teaching each other patterns. Pattern this, pattern that. You can look into the sky and you can see a pattern of stars, right? Do you know what that means? Do you know how it can have an effect? But I can read another pattern saying, oh, this one looks like a goat. This one looks like a sheep. This one looks like a lion. What's the point of learning patterns? How do I know how to use those patterns in life? Right? That's what I meant to say in the beginning of the thing. We are going away further and further from the end goal, which is I need to trade. Not learn something and get lost in that learning and lose why I came here in the first place. I need to understand that. And where that all begins is trying to understand the market first. How do prices respond? What is the human behavior when prices respond? Where can prices respond from? And what market are we trading? Shall we go deeper? So far, so good? Notice up until now, I haven't talked strategy. I haven't talked trading systems, signal service, automated robots, bat pattern, cat pattern, dinosaur patterns, nothing, nothing. I'm trying to bring your attention. I'm trying to shake you to wake up and saying, do you actually know what you're wasting time on every single day? You know, in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, so we've been around over 15 years in this market trying to do this. And we always see people come in and saying, yeah, but Navin, isn't this thing? There'll be some education reference. What about this thing? Isn't this like a head and shoulder pattern, this and that? What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you? How does it benefit you? Why are we memorizing all these things? What is the end result of that? That's where we need to go with our education, is what is it all for? Okay, is putting all of that stuff into perspective. That's where we need to clean up the education a bit. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Okay. Support and resistance. Ready? Does everyone know support and resistance? Yeah? Everybody knows support and resistance, right? It's like easy peasy. All you got to do is price go up, pull back, goes up, pulls back. We're like, yep, all you got to do is draw a line like that and saying, I got support, or resistance equals support, or support equals resistance, right? Like kindergarten stuff, right? We just got to draw a line. And we all, to a certain extent, know that line is not perfect. It's going to be approximately here. In 2009, I had introduced this as a zone. From that day until now, everyone on the internet is calling it a zone now. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good. The knowledge is out there now. Okay, 2009 up until now, it's a zone because it's not stocks or futures, it's Forex. Your price is not the same over here as mine or as somebody else's. Every broker shows a slight variation in price. Having that said, you cannot draw a single line ever and saying, I bet you that's where the price people respond from. It cannot. It cannot. So we use a zone, okay? So I hope now you understand why a zone is drawn. So far, so good? Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. So support and resistance. Everyone understands support and resistance, right? Now, we take that support and resistance, and here we go. Okay? Prices are going up. They start pulling back. Support and resistance people say, I need to buy. Perfect. Buy it. Support and resistance says, I need to buy. Sure. Buy it. Now, I want you to understand, every time these cycles happen, at what point does your brain stop and saying, hey, whoever the larger player was has already bought. Let's scratch that thought for a second. Let me ask you this, all of you guys, okay? Here we go. Let's say prices are coming down, and for some reason, for any reason, you have inside information. You catch a buy at the bottom, okay? You catch the buy at the bottom. You're like, I got this. My cousin's nephew's nephew said, this Euro USD is going to fly. A lot is going to fly. You take that buy. You build your position. You take it up for $1 million. Okay, $1 million worth of position. I want you to tell me, if prices go up, reaches support equals resistance, what will you do? Will you lighten up your position a bit? Will you start removing profit a bit? Or are you just going to hold on for dear life until the end of time? There has to be some exit plan, right? Right? We're not investors, we're traders. There has to be an exit plan. So if we remove, let's say, $50,000 here, then it goes up to the next SNR area, and we're like, okay, you know what? Now, I'm going to remove $500,000. I removed majority of my position now. And it goes up, and you remove even more. Now, so far so good? You guys understood what you just did as a person who has inside information you bought early before anybody else on the planet did? You with me, right? Now, every time it goes up, someone new is looking at this and says, oh, hey man, support and resistance. I gotta buy that thing. For him to buy, he needs someone willing to sell to him. For him to buy, someone must sell to him. It is you who's getting out now is saying, I will sell to you. How much do you want to buy? Because I got to get rid of this. Because I got in early. So the further and further it goes, all you're doing is the SNR, which was correct at the early stages. You can do that one. You can do that one. You can do that one. The further you're getting, now the same SNR, same pattern is now high risk. It's getting dangerous. Dangerous. How many people think that? Same pattern. And this is why, have you guys noticed when we take a pattern, it's like, oh man, it works to perfection. It's like, oh, I'm going to be rich now. If I only knew this pattern before, I would have been rich. It works perfectly here. You do that same pattern the next day and it doesn't work. And we're like, I don't understand what is happening. Why didn't it work today? Maybe the strategy sucks. Let me try something else. And you learn a new oil change. Rather than understanding what is happening. And all we do is go from one strategy to the next, where it works for a certain period of time, disappears, then it doesn't work, and then we quit. We find something else. I've gone through that for 10 years when I first started. 10 years. Okay? That's how long it took me to actually come grips with what the hell am I doing? Okay? I've been around since Euro USD was 5 pips spreads. I've been around that long. I've been around that long. Okay? How many of you guys can say everything? We've been in this webinar 35 minutes together. 35 minutes, can you say you've learned more in this webinar than you've done attending webinars that last 2-3 hours long? Learning a technique or in strategy and strategy and strategy. Yeah? Aha moments? Starting to click a little bit? Good. Good. I'm glad. Okay. Ali, very good. Very good. All right. So you want to be a little bit more aware of what you're doing. Yeah. See, Roland, your comment, and Ali Reza, very good as well. Okay. Good. Good. You want to be aware. What are you dealing with into the market and how to deal with things a little bit better? Because we all have a strategy. We all know a pattern. We all study vocabulary. It doesn't mean everyone wins. Right? You should know that by now. There is a reason why 95% of the people lose and 5% of the people win. It is not because 95% of the people are not studying that easy pattern. It's not because of that. It is because whatever anyone studies, they just don't know where to apply it and when to stand back and say, stop applying it now. It's not going to work. Stop, 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 stop. That's the missing link for many, many. Okay? Nishant, you're saying, what do we do when we feel the strategy isn't working? You need to find out why it's not working for that moment. Are you in a condition? So let me ask you guys this thing, okay? So the reason why I like to do SNR when I deal with my students and stuff, especially if some new student is coming in, I use SNR because it's something everybody kind of knows, right? Everyone knows support resistance, right? It's very friendly. So, okay, so support and resistance, we all know that, yeah, that's supposed to be a buy, right? Okay, that's supposed to be a buy. You want to spice it up a little bit, say supply and demand, okay? Here, bring it down here. We'll supply and demand it, okay? We'll spice it up a little bit more. Now, let me ask you one thing here. Just like we just talked about, someone who got in early is looking to cash out the further it goes. He's been cashing out. He's removing size every step of the way. If we get in up here, we're late, right? We're coming in very, very late. Whether it's support resistance or supply and demand, however we're doing, we're coming in very, very late, right? That's one thing. That's one thing. I do it here, it works fine. I do it here, it works fine. I do it here, it goes very slowly. I'm very scared. I do it here. Oh man, he barely even goes up. I do the next one. It's like, oh man, it killed me. Now, there's another piece to it. What about the supply and demand guy here? What about the support and resistance guy here? Is that guy supposed to sell when the price comes up to it? Or should we ignore that guy and say, no, no, we focus on our buys because this is the pattern I recognize right now? So this question is for all of you guys. Can you see how this has less interruptions in the way versus this? This is what we call a money spot at Urban Forex. Okay? Which means they're going to fight. They're going to fight. Buyer's educational ego and seller's educational ego is going to go to battle. They're going to fight. As traders, we stand aside and we watch and we're like, all right, one of them is going to win. One of them is going to have the loot and we're going to step in. But not now. Stand aside. But earlier, we're happy to join. No problem. No problem. Stand aside. Stand aside. Don't touch those. So same SNR, exact same SNR, but there is a sort of understanding of When should I do it? When should I not do it? That's what makes you a real trader, is that strong understanding of what am I even doing in this market? Did I forget that I'm here to trade and make money? Or am I just here to study whatever for the sake of studying? All right? Okay. How many guys in here can say we've been in the industry for, have been in the industry for more than, let's say, 3 months? Right? Yeah. So, see, I'm sure a ton of you guys have been in the industry for more than 3 months. In fact, if I even open up a poll and saying how many of you guys been here more than a year, we'll get answers like that too. But the funny part is many people don't understand this logic though. And yet they've been in the industry so long. But they know every strategy, every technique, every indicator, but they don't know the basics of how does the market operate. So, would you say today you're starting to understand there are key pieces that we need to pick up on before going head down into trading? Because if we go straight into trading without understanding how trading actually works, what's going to happen is we're going to end up losing money than making money. If we made money today, it is almost guaranteed it will leave tomorrow with more. Guaranteed. Okay? If you look at broker statistics, okay, 80% of the people lose 80% of their capital within 60 days. That's bad and sad at the same time. Okay? The fact that you guys are here means you guys want to improve. The fact that you guys are in a webinar, which means there's something inside you that says, I need to learn more. Which is one of the reasons why I really like FX Street. They try to bring in the best of the best all around the world and present them to you, right? Saying, all right, here's more knowledge, here's more knowledge. Get better, get smarter, and see if you can put pieces together. You can put pieces together. Okay. Nicole, you're asking is if the session is recorded, do you want to rewatch it? Yeah. FX Street generally records all of my sessions. In fact, it's not just going to be this session. You can even watch any of my previous sessions. I'm even, like I said, I'm a premium speaker with them as well. So if you ever join the premium side of things, you'll see more in there as well. Okay, where I go a little bit more in depth, I talk a little bit more openly. Yeah. All right, so I really wanted to spend today sort of like trying to shake the belief a little bit. Trying to shake the belief a little bit. And I want to also apologize in case it came off the wrong way. That's not my intention. I don't have to do this. You know, it's not my intention. But if I'm asked to speak, I don't want to waste your time. I want to tell you what you need to hear so you stop wasting time as well. Right? So I hope, I hope you can understand where I'm coming from, where I'm a little bit strong on the tone when I tell you that we need to be better. We need to be smarter because I've been in your position. Like I said, just going strategy to strategy, just wasting time, just learning a new technique, a new technique, a new technique. What's the point of learning a technique if we don't understand how the market works? Yeah? All right, guys. So as we're approaching the end of this webinar, I want to take a moment and thank FX Street for having me here. I want to thank all of you guys for taking time off to be here. I'm here at least once or twice a month here at FX Street, and you'll always see me in their schedule and stuff like that. I'm also in their premium side of things. You can also catch me on YouTube at Urban Forex. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. I hope this was very useful for you guys. And until next time, thank you, guys. Cheers. Bye for now.